This conference will now be recorded.
I hope everybody is able to see my screen. Guys, let me know if you are able to see my screen. Guys, am I audible? Am I audible to you all?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, okay. So today we are going to start off with financial modeling. So you people have taking up with this course means you must be having some idea about what is financial modeling is. What it is related to, here what we'll be learning, any idea about it? I hope everybody are from commerce background. Is there anyone who is from the different background? Is everybody from commerce stream? Guys, anybody from different stream like computer science or from science background or from any other departments? So nobody is answering this. I'll consider that everybody are from commerce department only. Okay, if anybody can tell me what is financial modeling is. Any idea about it? Guys, as you can see on my screen, I'm opened with the PPT. So from the back end, if you are answering something in the chat, I won't be able to know. Nobody is having any idea about what is financial modeling is? Okay, so what is financial modeling is? So financial modeling is a process of estimating the financial performance of a project or business by taking into account all relevant factors, growth and risk assumptions. So if I wanted to start up with any business or anything as such, so first I need to have the idea about the business, what it is, so how it started, where it has to be located. So, what are the things that I need to keep in mind? What are the risk factors that will be there? What is the investment that is required? So, there are some things which I need to keep in mind. Okay. So, if I have to justify, okay, I wanted to start up with this business. So, I will be coming across to a business where I'll be getting some idea. Okay. So, how I am going to get to know about the financial position of a company, so how would I get to know the financial performance of a business? So those things and all. So where I'll be talking about the factors, growth and risk assumptions and interpreting their impact. So when I'm talking about all those stuffs, I'm going to understand that how very impactful are these things on my business. It enables the user to acquire a concise knowledge of all the variables involved in the financial forecasting. So when I come across all those information, I see, I analyze all those things, then I'll be in a position to check whether I'll be able to make a handsome profit. If I'm starting this business, how very far I can run this business, how very well I can make the profit from this business. So all those assumptions. So before I start up with business, I'll be gaining some knowledge about it, insight knowledge about that business. Okay. So that is called as financial modeling. So here, when I'm talking about financial modeling, data is the new oil. So what is data here? So data means, so as I told, I wanted to start up with a business. Either from the scratch, I'm going to start a business, or I'm going to own the business which is already on the book, isn't it? So in both the cases, I need to have the proper information related to it. If I am starting the business from the scratch, so I need to have not only the interest, I need to have some knowledge about that business. For example, if I wanted to start up with a restaurant, so without anything, just because I have interest in restaurant, I'm going to start up a business. Guys, I hope everybody are able to listen to me. So with just interest, can I start up with a business?
No, ma'am.
So no. So not only with the interest, I can start up with the business. So whatever the business I'm starting, first thing is I need to have some information related to the business. So this is where I'm starting it from the scratch. So I have to collect some information about the business, which areas it has to be located, what is the required investment that is required. So what is the ambience that this everything I need to take care of. So if I wanted to own a business, so which is already ongoing business, I wanted to own a business. Just because I like that business, I'm going to take no. I'm going to check out with the past history of the business, when it was started till now, how the business was running, how the development is done in the business currently at present, what is the business is, where do they stand, how it is going on. So based on this past and the present information, I can calculate the future. So I can tell that if I am going to start up with this business, so in the upcoming 5 years, where do that business stand? So am I going to make a handsome profit? What is required? So all those information. So with the past information, with present what is going on in that business, I can forecast the future. Okay. So here we are talking about the data. So data means the past history of the business. So here there are few scenarios I would like you to actively participate. So I wanted few things, if you can open up and tell what it is and all, because if I alone I'm talking means it won't work out. So that's why. So how much ever you know, it is not that you should be telling the accurate answer or you have to give the correct answer, nothing as such. Whatever you feel like, whatever you know about it, you just okay. So here I am giving one situation. Okay. Hi, I am Mehul. I wanted to start a franchisee of Tata Motors. Shall I invest rupees 10 crore into it? So your friend Mehul is asking you a suggestion. So he wanted to start a franchisee for Tata Motors. How far will it work out? So can he go with the project? Yes or no? So if you ask me the suggestion, I would definitely tell that yes, he can go with the franchisee. So the amount might be huge, but here still Tata Motors is a well recognized company. So he did not have to establish the name once again. So as it is well established, he need to just take care of the business and to see its growth. So he can definitely go with the franchisee. So we want to bid for National Highway Pune Mumbai project. Is it feasible to bid for 1,000 crores? So here when I'm talking about the bid means you must be able to understand how the bid will be done when it is coming to any national level contract. So any answers? So can he go with the Mumbai project? Can he invest 1,000 crores into this project? So here if he has to bid with such a huge amount, he should have the concise knowledge about the thing. Why? Because when I'm talking about the national level bidding means, so there the estimation will be expected to be at the lowest. So whoever is bidding lowest, so the government is going to hire. Okay. So in that case, so with the least amount of bidding, he should be having the concise knowledge how to make it a quality and efficient one. So how he can get it worked out. So how the things are going to work out and how he is going to make a profit. So all those things are there. So in this case, there is a lot of risk which he has to take care of. So if he is aware of the risk and he is able to manage, then he can go with the project. Okay. So in the next thing, one of my client wants to invest in capital market. Can I buy a share of Reliance at rupees 600? So this one everybody must be aware of share markets. So how it works on. So if I have to make some investment in this shares. So first thing is I am going to study. I am going to study about the Reliance shares. So how it has been done till date. So what are the up and downs that is happening. So when and all there is a loss, when is there is a profit where I can make the sale or all those things. So this is based on the past history of the shares. Without having a concise knowledge about the past history, I cannot make the investment. Why? Because when I don't have the proper knowledge about the past history, I don't know how long should I hold this particular shares in order to retain. So if I have to make some, in some cases, immediately I am going to get the profits. So I will be making the returns. So in some cases, I need to hold the shares for limited time of period, like for 1 month or 15 days or 2 months. Then I'll get to know that after 2 months I'm going to make a profit. So in order to analyze that, at what particular time I can expect the profit. For that, the concise knowledge about the past is very much required. So in that case, if the Reliance shares is making handsome profit, then they can definitely go and invest the amount. How much amount shall be paid to acquire DLF infra? So here I wanted you people to answer me. So what is acquisition and what is merging of business? If you can tell me what is acquiring a business and merging a business is?
Acquiring the business is owning the business, right, ma'am?
Acquiring the business means owning whatever it is, we are
Owning.
owning the business only.
Yeah, yeah.
Acquiring a business and merging a business. So acquiring means I'm going to acquire that business. Merging means I'm going to merge that business. There are two different things. So what is acquisition and merging? Come on guys,
Ma'am,
I know you.
merging means kind of collaborating with other
Okay,
company.
okay. Very good,
Acquiring
Arpita.
is taking over.
Taking over. So acquiring means taking over the business. At what point of time I am going to acquire one business, overtaking the business? Like if you can give me some example where one business has acquired the other business.
When they have more profit, ma'am, like they're on profit continuously. They're earning more.
Okay,
When they have
okay,
financial statement is like increasing day by day.
okay.
Or to increase the capital, they may be merged with the other company.
Can you give me some example, current example?
To form the legal entities, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Can you just give me any example, live example?
Ma'am, I guess for merging the business Maruti Suzuki.
I guess yes. So that one is also there, and I can tell that Facebook acquiring Instagram, Disney acquiring Pixar. So one business is acquiring the other business. So in this case, in the acquisition, whatever you people told, it is correct. Very good. So now when I'm telling that I am going to possess the other business. So at what point of time this acquisition will be happening? So Blinkit, somebody gave the answer Blinkit. That's also correct. Okay. So at what point of time this acquisition is going to happen?
When
When
a
there is a
company is
loss,
in
ma'am.
loss.
Sorry,
When
When a company
there
is
is a
in loss.
loss.
when there is a loss.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
in that case, if my business is in loss, am I going to acquire the other business?
No, ma'am.
So I can tell that when I wanted to gain access to the assets, technology and market shares, so that time I'm
They
going to
want to raise
acquire,
the capital.
yes, to raise the capital. Very good. So some example for mergers.
Google and Android, ma'am.
Yes, Google and Android. So in this they are merging, they are not acquiring. So which one is merged with which one?
Android is merged with Google, ma'am.
Merged, yes, Android is merged with Google. So here merging means one company is getting merged with the other one. So acquisition means one company is acquiring the other business. So in both the case, acquisition means my business is already doing well and good, okay? Or I wanted to expand the market shares, or I wanted to gain the customer things. So in that case, when I wanted to expand my business, so in that cases, we are going to acquire or merge the business. Okay. So this is acquisition and merging. So he is having a situation where he's asking how much amount shall we pay to acquire DLF Infra. So DLF Infra means it is already well established company. So in order to acquire it, so I should be giving them a better profit margin. So if I am giving them the best option, the best amount if I'm giving, I'll be able to acquire that business. So usually when I wanted to expand my business, in those cases, I'm going to acquire or merge an ongoing companies. Okay. So now we saw that different incidents where how to invest, how to bid, or how can I buy the stock or acquisition, all those stuffs and all. It is totally different scenarios, but everything is talking about the business. So whenever we are talking about the business, so just now you people gave very good answers. So I'm very happy about it. So you gave me the answers. So you thought about it. So what will happen when I'm going to make an investment? So how I should be aware of the business things like the risk factors and all when I have to bid, or when I'm going to buy the stock. What is the past history that I need to have the concise knowledge about in order to make the profit. So and acquisition, so which business I can make out, what amount of investment that is feasible in order to make the investment if I have to acquire or merge. So all those things and all, it is related to the data that has been given. Okay. So here in financial modeling is either building a model from the scratch, either I'm starting it from the scratch, or I'm going to start the existing model by implementing newly available data to it. So as you can notice, all the above financial situations are complex and volatile in nature. So it helps the user to gain an in-depth understanding of all the components of complex scenario that each and every incident or each and every scenarios is coming across. So it is used to forecast the potential future financial performance of a company. So here by seeing all those things, I can understand everything is a different scenario, but what they are talking about. So if I'm making the investment, if I'm going for a bid, if I'm going to invest in share markets, if I'm going to acquire, so everything is telling that in the future, whether this is feasible, whether it is having some future. So if I'm going to make such a huge investment, whether it is going to work out. So it is all about the future forecasting, what we are going to do. So by the relevant assumptions of how the firm or a specific project is expected to perform in the forthcoming years. So in the upcoming years, how the business is going to run. So I should have a concise or proper knowledge about the business is very much important. So now, if I have to talk about the uses of financial model, what are the uses of financial model means? First thing is valuation of a company. So I'm talking about the asset value of a company, valuation of the asset, mergers and acquisitions, option pricing, budgeting and forecasting, capital allocation, raising capital, and what are the risks that will be there, and what is the risk management that I have to do. So in financial modeling, so here representation of an entity's financial statement and accounts. So now if I am starting a business from a scratch, or I am going to acquire a business, or I am going to merge a business, so I need to have the proper details, data related to that business, that is financial statements and accounts of that business, to gain useful insights. So based on which I can know the future performance. So here we are going to work on the financial statements like income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement. So other inputs and assumptions and physical measures in order to understand. Provide useful analysis for decision makers. So when I have a concise knowledge about the past history of the business, at present how the business is doing, so I'll be able to make a decision whether this business is going to work out. So if I'm going to make a bid, so whether it is going to work out. If I'm making an investment, how it is going to work out. So I will be able to get a clarity about the forthcoming years. So financial decision is a support tool. So financial model, what we are going to learn. So it is going to help you in making such decisions. Okay, so how we are going to do it? Let's see. So five reasons why you need to build a financial model for your startup. So if I am talking about a startup business, to be successful, uh, I need to have a good handle on their business. So I need to have a good handle. Means I should have the concise knowledge about the business. So the best way to do this is to build a financial model. So financial modeling means, as I told, the past, present, and the future. So this has to be done, which will give greater insight into your company. So when I know about the past, when I know about the present, so I can easily tell what is the future is. So it will also make your startup more attractive to venture capital investors, lenders, and angel investors. So when I have the proper knowledge, when I am starting up in a proper way, so anybody who is investing, so they will also find that yes, it is much more effective. So I can definitely make an investment into this. So analytical lens, it is a framework for thinking through business in an objective, critical manner and construct number around each assumption. So when I am having the knowledge, so I can build an objective, the what are the risk factors that I have to face, and now I have to overcome that risk factors. So operating roadmap, a model is by its nature chronological way of laying out what you expect to happen, when and what it will cost. So I have to be clear about what are the risk factors that I have to face. So risk assessment, identifying the key levels, the sensitivities of the business helps eliminate the risk points of your startup. In particular, the magnitude of downside risk. For example, at most startups, expenses proceed revenue. So if I'm not able to handle the loss, definitely I won't be able to make the profit. So wherever the business is, there is loss. How I am going to overcome the loss? So that is all about scenario exploration. Models allows for multiple forms in really useful business model analysis. For example, what happens to our breakout point when we lower prices by 10%? So if I'm starting the business, initially when I'm starting up a business from the scratch, for example, I'm starting up a business. So the day one only I'm going to make the profit? No. In order to gain the attention of my customers, my clients and all, I need to provide the cost of the foods at a lower rate, or I must be providing some free from something I have to do in order to grab the attention. So once I grab the attention, I need to reach to their level. So once I reach, after that, if I hike the price also, never, it doesn't matter. My business has got. But initially, there are some losses that has to be happening. So in that case, if I am reducing by 10% or if I'm giving one-on-one free or something I'm doing in order to get my business clip, so I should be aware of what I am doing, how it is going to have an impact on my business. So by taking a little bit of loss, how can I convert it into a profit? How can I gain money? So all those things, it is very much important. Pitch and sales tool. Last but not the least, models are great way to booster your pitch to investors, lenders, and strategic partners. At its basic, the model equivalently explains how much money you need and how much you will make from the investors or partners. Okay, so here when I'm talking about the financial model, it is going to give you the clarity about the business. So what are the risks and how you are going to overcome it? So what are the points that you need to concentrate? So all those things it will give me a clarity about. So here when I'm using this financial model, so it is used for the business activity, helpful in planning the situations. So return on the money invested into the project. So what is the internal rate of returns? So whatever the investment that I'm making in the forthcoming years, so what will be the rate of returns I'm going to get when the project will reach the cash positive? As I told, any business initially you are going to start, you are going to face the loss. But how I can make it into a positive way? How I'm going to take that, convert that loss into profit? So break even points. If return is X%, then what would cost the business activities? So how long project can survive without further investment? So without making the investment, how can I run my show? How long I can run my show? So when the second investments or the other investment is required. So at what point of time I can expand my business? At what point of time I can think of acquisition? So all those things and all it will be considered, helps to examine the financial and physical scenarios also. So how? So till now we were discussing about the finance. Guys, am I going too fast or something? Are you people able to follow?
Ma'am, little bit slow, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So anything has such you did not understand, you wanted me to repeat, or if you feel that I'm going a bit faster, please don't hesitate. You can always interrupt and ask me to reduce the speed, or you can ask me to explain once again. Okay, I can understand it's a long day. After that, you have to listen to the story means it will be a little bit difficult only. Okay, so one of your friend told that I have to reduce the speed. So yes, ma, definitely I'll reduce my speed. So now here we are talking about how to prepare financial model for any company. So just now we were discussing that what is financial model is, how it is helpful, so why it is required in a business. So when I have a financial model, how it is going to support me. So all those things we saw. But how I'm going to prepare a financial model for any company, how would I get to know? So that is based on the historical information. What is historical information? So till now I was talking about data, the past history of the business. So what is that past history of the business? What is the history? So here when I'm talking about the past history of the business means I'm talking about the financial statements that includes the balance sheet, income statement, cash flows and debt services. So when I'm aware of all those historical information of any business, then I'll be able to analyze relationship, make assumptions. So how am I going to analyze the relationship? So by this past history, I can tell what is the growth rates from the past, from the year one to second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, how the business has seen the growth, how the development is done, operating margins. So how the operating margins have been initiated. So how to start up with the new business, when it is required to do the refinancing. So all those analyzing things I can do it when I'm using a financial model. Now with the past history I have analyzed. Now what next? So if I am able to analyze all those informations, then I'll be able to check out with the project, sales, cost and other informations like what is the revenue that they have made. So what is the cost of goods sold? What is the operating margins? And what is the debt services? Okay, so I'll be able to analyze those things. So when I'm able to analyze the project sales, cost and others, I'll be able to forecast the future where I can tell, develop complete and financial analysis. So I'll be able to tell in the future I can create a model where I can analyze and tell what is the, I can prepare a balance sheet, I can prepare an income statement, I can prepare a cash flow statement, monthly and weekly also if it is required, industry and ratio analysis. Okay, so this is about the financial model, how we are going to build. So it is going to start with the financial statements and it is going to end with the financial statements for the upcoming years, for the forthcoming years. I can analyze and I can tell in the upcoming 5 years where the business is going to stand. I can prepare a balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement, everything. So this is how a financial model is built for a company. Okay. So when I am coming to the financial modeling, what are the types of financial modeling we have? So there are three statement models. So as we discussed just now, so three statement model is nothing but the financial statement, how to manage with the balance sheet. So your cash flow statement and income statement. Discounted cash flow, DCF model, merger and acquisition model, initial public offering model, IPO, initial public offering. So initially I don't have the proper investment, huge investment I cannot do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it as a public limited where partial amount will be given as shares to the public. So leveraged buyout model, LBO model, consolidation model, budget model, forecasting model, option pricing model. So these are some of the different types of financial modelings what we have. So three statement model. So when I'm talking about three statement model, as I am going to work on financial statement with balance sheet, income statement, and financial statement. So here, guys, somebody is talking. Just mute yourself. Somebody is talking there. Please mute yourself, guys.
Bye.
So DCF model is a specific type of financial model used to value a business. In DCF model, it is used to forecast a business unlevered free cash flow discounted back to back today's value, which is called net present value. So if I am able to know the net present value, so I can definitely work out on it. Merger and acquisition, just now we discussed when I'm going to acquire the other business and when I'm going to merge the other business. So initial public offering model, an initial public offering model is a process by which privately owned enterprises is turned into public company whose shares are traded on stock exchange. So this process is sometimes referred to as going public after a private company becomes a public limited. Okay, it is owned by the shareholders who buys the company stocks. Leverage buyout model. A leverage buyout is a transaction where a company is acquired using debt as the main source of consideration. So here, moreover, the debt will be the playing the important role. This transaction typically occur when a private equity firm borrows as much as they can from a variety of lenders, up to 70 to 80% of the purchase price, and funds the balance with their own equity. So this is called as leveraged buyout model. So a consolidation model belongs to reporting model category of financial models. It includes several business units added into one single model for a financial model and further analysis. So it is similar to a sum of parts exercise where division A and division B are added together and in order to get a new one. Consolidated worksheet is created in this model. Budget model. The budget model is used to do financial modeling in the financial planning and analysis to get the budget together for the next few years. So as I told, forecasting the forthcoming years. Forecasting model similar to the budget model. The forecasting model is also used in FP&A to come with a forecast that compares to the budget model. Since it is similar to the forecasting model, it also belongs to the reporting model category of all the financial models. So next is option pricing. As the name suggests, this model is a part of pricing model category of financial models. So binomial tree and Black-Scholes are the two main option pricing financial models and are based purely on the mathematical financial modeling rather than specific standards. Okay. So therefore are an upfront calculator built in Excel. So this is the introduction to financial modeling. I hope now you must have got some knowledge what is financial modeling is. I cannot tell that with this theory part you will be able to tell me at the end what is the financial modeling is. So definitely we are going to start up with few things. And here when I am talking about the financial modeling, so here we are going to work on Microsoft Excel. Okay, so Microsoft Excel is used as a platform in order to build the financial modeling. Okay, so here, so we will be having an introduction, Excel refresher will be there, so we will understand what is Excel is and what are the things that are there which we need to have in mind, which we have to concentrate in order to work on financial modeling. Okay, so till here, any doubts? Anybody is having any doubts? So now whatever I have taught, I cannot tell that everything you have understood, but by the end of the session, so before we complete with financial modeling, definitely I can assure that you will be able to understand, you can explain someone what is financial modeling is and how it is going to be helpful for. Okay. So this notes I'll be sharing you later. So once I am started working on the practicals, I'll be sharing it in the group so that before we start up with the class, I wanted you people to download and along with me, I'll be giving you the time to solve it practically. First, I'm going to explain you, then I'll give you some time in order to solve it. So then and there, we will understand how it is working out. Okay. So now whatever I have explained, I think a little bit of idea you people must have got. So type 1 if you people have understood a little bit, at least type in 1 so that I'll think that yes, some idea you people have understood. But I'll not exactly you people have got to know what is financial modeling is. Type 1. Okay. Very good. So once I share the notes, so you go through the recordings, everything. Recording also will be shared in the group. Go through it. Still, you are having any doubts? The very next day, we will just clarify whatever the doubts you have of the previous sessions, and then we will start up with the question. Okay. So now, as I told, so Excel is the platform where we'll be working on the financial model. So we will understand what is Excel is. So anybody has any knowledge about Excel? Anybody has learned Excel? Anybody knows Excel? Okay, Sunaina has some knowledge about Excel. Very good. Okay. So most of them are having the knowledge about Excel. Very good. It is nice to hear that you people are aware of it. But still, the people who are not aware of it, for them, we will just understand what is Excel is. We will work on few things. So now, as I told, Excel is the platform on which we are going to build our financial modeling and all. What means whatever the financial statements or the case study, whatever we are going to solve, everything is going to be worked on Excel only. Okay. So now coming to Excel, what is Excel is? So Excel is a software program produced by Microsoft that allows the user to organize, format and calculate the data using formulas and functions using the spreadsheet system. So MS Excel is a component of the MS Office application suite. Okay. So it was developed by Microsoft. So it comes along with the MS Office applications. So MS Office, it is MS Excel, it is used to organize, format, and calculate the data. Okay. So organizing the data, so whatever the data I have, I can easily organize, I can format, and I can calculate the data using functions and formulas are. So if anybody who has done Excel, can you tell me what is functions and formulas in Excel? It is not that you should tell the accurate answer or you should tell the correct answer only. Whatever you know, you tell. If it is wrong also, never mind. Here you have come to learn. Here I am to teach you people. So don't hesitate that if I give some wrong answer or how it is, never mind. If you are wrong, I will correct you. So if you know, I'll be very happy that you have some knowledge about it. So what are functions and formulas in Excel? Okay, so no answers. So let me tell. So functions. Functions are system defined or predefined. So as we know, Excel is a very vast tool which has been used in all the different types of platforms. There is no such platform where Excel is not used. So as we users, the requirements are totally different from one another, isn't it? So in that case, the company, the Microsoft company itself, they have created the different types of functions as per the user requirement. Like we have the date and time function, we have text function, we have mathematical function, we have aggregate functions, we have logical functions, we have financial functions, we have statistical functions, we have financial functions. Like this, each and every functions has set of functions under it. Okay. For example, if I have to tell in math, if I have to find one solution, so I need to write a formula. For example, a square plus b square plus 2ab. So that is a formula which I am going to write in order to find a solution for, isn't it? So if I write a different formula, I'm not going to get the output. Like that only in Excel also there are some predefined functions which are already created by the company. So functions. Now what are formulas are? So as I told, functions are system defined or predefined. Now what are formulas then? So I am a user, I am aware of all these different types of functions. So I know what are data and time function, what is text function, what is information function, database function, every functions I know. I wanted one output. Okay. So sometimes this individual functions cannot perform my requirement. So they won't be able to satisfy my requirement. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate the functions which are already there. I'm going to manipulate it and I'm going to get an output. Okay. So when I'm manipulating the already existing functions, I'm going to use, instead of this function, let me try with a different function. So Excel is flexible enough in order to perform, but whatever the rules, the bounds it is set for that particular syntax, I need to follow it without breaking the rules. By following it, I can manipulate. Okay. So when I'm manipulating with multiple functions, instead of if condition, I'm going to use VLOOKUP. However I want, I can manipulate it and I can make it work. Okay. So those are called as user defined. So formulas are user defined. So I wanted one particular output. For that, I'm going to manipulate the already existing functions. Okay. Functions are system defined or predefined, formulas are user defined. And I'm going to work this on the spreadsheet. So spreadsheet means the work area on Excel. Okay. So features of MS Excel. So if you look at the features of MS Excel, so Microsoft Excel is a powerful spreadsheet program which offers a wide range of features and data analysis. So first thing is the spreadsheet. So when I'm talking about the spreadsheet, the work area, which is the grid interface. So there are many cells put together. Many cells put together, it is called as tabulation. So tabulation means what? Which are organized on the rows and on the columns. Okay. In Excel, it is called as electronic spreadsheet. Why it is called as electronic spreadsheet? We will understand in a few while. Then we have formulas and functions. So just now, as I told, functions are system defined or predefined. Formulas are user defined, which is customized. I can customize my functions. So charts and graphs. So when I'm talking about the charts and graphs, it is not mandatory that the output has to be coming in a numerical form or something like that only in the calculation. If I want, I can set the output in the form of charts and graphs also. Like I can set it on the bar graph, line graph, pie charts, histograms, and many other visualizations I can do. Okay. Data analysis tool. Excel includes features like data sorting, filtering, applying the pivot table. Furthermore, I can analyze the pivot table, summarize it, and create the reports. So data visualization along with charts and graph, Excel provide features like conditional formatting, highlighting whatever my requirement is, and using the spark lines, using the data bars, I can highlight the visualize, highlight trends, patterns, and anomalies, and etc. in the data. Data import and export. So here Excel can perform with importing and exporting the data. So it is not that Excel works only with Excel. You can import the data from any of the text files, databases, or web pages. And here the file formats supported are CSV, comma separated values, PDF, portable document format, and HTML, hypertext markup language. So these are some of the different types of file formats and the different types of platforms from where you can import the data and the changes and export the data to different platforms. So data validation, Excel allows the user to define rules and constraints. What if analysis, so when I wanted to forecast the future, like calculate, like creating the scenario manager, data table, and goal seek. So using the macros and automations, so macros and automation where I'm working on Visual Basic for application. So whatever the tools that are available. So apart from it, I wanted a particular task has to be performed from Excel. So for that, which I don't have a tool, then I'm going to build a VBA code. Okay, it's a program where I'm going to explain Excel what is my requirement is. So I have to make it understand based on that VBA code, Excel is going to perform that task. Okay. So data security, when I'm talking about the encryption, so security, the password protection can be applied on a single cell, on a range of cells, on a worksheet, or on an entire workbook. Customization, so when I have to create my template, so I'm a business person, I have built in one my own invoice and I wanted to save it as a template for further use, I can definitely do it, and I can customize or tailor the programs whatever it is there as per my requirement. So Excel is flexible enough to work on in all those things. So data types in Excel, if you see, we have text, that is alphabets, and then we have number, logical. So 60 to 70% of your Excel functions gives you the output in the form of true or false. Furthermore, I wanted to manipulate it. I'm going to convert it into formulas, and I'm going to get the output in the way I wanted. Okay. Then we have error. So in Excel we have different types of error. If I am able to identify the error, I'll be able to solve the problem. Generally in a computer, when I get an error means, so whenever my input string is incomplete or whenever my input string carries has some mistakes in it. So in that case, computer is not going to give me the output. In the same way, Excel also, whenever my input string is incomplete or incorrect, then it is going to pop up with an error. So if I am able to identify that error, I'll be able to analyze the mistake what I have done, and easily I can rectify that mistake too. Okay. So now before we go further, let's understand the screen interface of Excel. Guys, if I'm going fast or something, please do tell. I'll reduce my speed. I'll repeat it once again. Okay. So if I look at the screen interface, so I should be aware of each and every components that are available on the screen. So leftmost corner, if you see the leftmost corner, this is called as quick access toolbar. Quick access toolbar means here whatever the things you see, small icons like this, all are called as tools. Okay. It is not mandatory that I am going to use all the tools in my work. So very limited tools I'll be using. So whichever tool I'm using, I can set it up in the quick access toolbar instead of going and searching for that particular tool. So here already I have the save, I have the mail, and I have the filters. Now if I wanted to add more, so how am I going to do it? I'm going to click on this drop down. I'll go to more commands, and here I have some of the popular commands that are available. Like I wanted to apply with conditional formatting. I'll select it and I'll click on add and I'll click on OK. So as I select the conditional formatting, you can see the tool will appear over here. If I wanted to remove something, I'll click on this drop down, go to more commands and remove whichever I don't want. I'm going to remove the conditional formatting. I'm going to remove the filters. So I have kept only the save and email option. So you can see save and email option is available. Now if I wanted to go along with the tabs, so tabs means here what I see, file, home, insert, formulas, data, review view. These are the tabs. So if I wanted to go along with the tabs, so I'll click on the drop down, I'll go for more commands. Now I wanted to open the data visualization tool which is under data tab. Okay, under data tab I have that tool. So how I'm going to do it? So here choose commands from. I click on the drop down and here you can see the list of all the tabs that are there. Home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review view. Home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review view. So now I told data validation which is available in data tab. I'll select this and here I'll check out where is my data validation is. Yes, here it is. I'll select it and I'll click on add and I'll click on OK. So my data validation tool will appear over here. So like this, I can set up the tools whichever I am using very frequently. I can add, I can remove also. So this is called as quick access toolbar. Then we have the title bar in the middle. So what is title bar means? So till now I have not saved this file. So by default Excel will give the file name as book. Okay. Once I save a file with the file name, then whatever the file name I give, that name will appear here in the title bar. Okay, so this one is called as title bar. Then we have the close button and then close button means it will close the window. Then we have restore down. When I click on this restore, you can see the second level size of your screen. When I come here, now you can see maximize. Maximize means fit all the four corners of your screen. Then minimize. Minimize means your screen will be hidden in the taskbar. It will not be closed, but it will be hidden in the taskbar. I'll come and click, my file is open. Okay, this is about your top row. Then we have the menu bar. Menu bar consists of different types of tabs like file, home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view. So these are the different types of tabs that are there. Okay. So each and every tab has its ribbon. So when it is opening horizontally at the bottom of your tab, it is called as ribbon. Okay. File, it is a menu. File menu. Why? Because it opens like a window. That's why it is called as file menu. So then you can see I am in the home tab. So home tab consists this ribbon. When I come to insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view. So these are the different types of ribbons that are available for each and every individual tabs. Okay. So this is your menu bar which consists different types of tabs and this is your ribbon. Okay. So ribbon consists of three things in it again. So what are those means? First one is clipboard, font, alignment, number, styles, cells, editing. So these are the groups. Okay. So ribbon consists of groups. Groups, clipboard, font, alignment, number, styles, cells, editing. So these are the groups. And individual groups contains tools or commands. So tools in all the MS Office application, it is called as tools, and in Excel it is called as commands. Okay. So here you can see I have the font style and I have the font style size, grow font, shrink font, bold, italic, underline. I wanted to give the borders, cell color, text color. So this all are individual tools. Okay. So font, this is a group, these are the tools, and then we have the dialog launcher. So what is this dialog launcher means? This font groups contain some tools in it. When I click on this dialog launcher, the same tools will be explained little bit detailed, a little bit elaboratedly. It will be explained. Like here you can see the font styles. If I wanted to make it regular, italic, bold, italic, I wanted to increase the size, I wanted the underline, cell color, text color, subscript, superscript, all those options are available. So a group, whatever the tools it contains, it will be explained detailedly in a dialog launcher. And it is not mandatory that all the groups will be having the dialog launcher. For example, here in home tab, you can see the dialog launcher in the clipboard, in the font, in the alignment number. When I come to insert tab, so except the chat, nowhere I can see the dialog launcher. When I come to page layout, the dialog launcher is available in page setup, scale to fit, sheet options. Nowhere else it is there. Formulas, I don't have the option anywhere available. So in that case, dialog launcher is made available only in the limited groups, not in all the groups. Okay. So type in 1 if you people have understood with this top row, menu bar and ribbon. Type in 1 if you people have understood with it. Any doubts, please ask. Okay, very good. So there is no doubt. So next, then we have the name box. So here this tool is called as name box. What is this name box means? So let's understand the work area before we get into the name box. So here this is the work area. So as per the requirements, so all the MS Office, the work areas are designed as per the work what they carry on. Like if I am talking about MS Word, the work area is in the form of A4 size sheet. When I am talking about PowerPoint, the presentations are in the form of slides. And when I am talking about Excel, where we are going to apply with the calculation, function, formulas and all, so it is in the grid interface. So grid means the small boxes what you see. So the small boxes, individually it is called as cell. Okay, many cells put together it is called as tabulation. So tabulation means what? Which are arranged in the form of rows and in the form of columns. So here in Excel it is called as electronic spreadsheet. So why it is called as electronic spreadsheet? So when I open an active sheet, when I open a new workbook, you can see, so one sheet will be open where it will mention sheet 1 and there will be one border, one block cell. Okay, in all the new sheets you can see that. So what is this bordered, this blocked cell is? It is an active cell. By default it will be in A1. What is this A1 means? A is a column and 1 is a row. So when my column and row intersect each other, the meeting point is called as active cell. When I click somewhere here, you can see I am in I column 14th row. So where my active cell is, that cell address will be displayed in your name box. When I click somewhere here, so I am in Q column 9th row. I am in F column 20th row. You can see in the name box, it will show where is your active cell is. And wherever my active cell is, there only I can enter the data. Nowhere else I can enter the data. So where my active cell is, there only I can enter my data. Okay. So this is my name box. So wherever my cell address is. So now I am in A1. Let me see how many number of rows are there like this 1, 2, 3, 4 and all. I'll press Control and down arrow. So it is 10,48,576 rows are there. I wanted to come back, Control and up arrow. Now I wanted to see how many number of columns are there. So I'll press Control and right arrow. The last columns except the which is 16,384 columns. Now I wanted to come back to the first cell, Control and left arrow. I am coming back to A1 cell. How did I got to know that it is 16,384 only? Did I sat and counted? No. Then how did I got to know it is 16,384 columns are there? So in order to check it, I'll go to file, excuse me, I'll go to options, I'll go to formulas, R1 C1 reference style, okay. See now your column address are changed to numbers. Now I'll press Control and right arrow, it is 16,384 columns. I'll come back, Control and left arrow, I am back. Now I wanted the column address to be in alphabets. I'll go to file, options, formulas, uncheck this R1 C1 reference style, click on OK. So now my column address are changed to alphabets. So why they did not left it in 1, 2, 3, 4? Why they have kept alphabets means in order to identify an active cell. If there is numbers, so I cannot tell it is 7 is to 12. I cannot understand what it is. So that is why they have changed the column address to alphabets and rows are addressed by numbers. Okay. So wherever your active cell is, so this name box is going to tell where is your active cell is. And whatever I enter in an active cell, that is going to be reflected in the formula bar. So this is your formula bar. So if I enter a text or I enter numbers, so here you can see the numbers. If I enter some special characters, so whatever I enter, formula bar is going to reflect the data what you are entering in an active cell. Okay. So now if I tell equals NICT, so the same thing is visible in the formula bar equals NICT. I press enter. Now it is telling hashtag name question mark, and there in formula bar it is telling equals NICT. Anyone can guess what it is? What is this name and why it is showing like that over there? Any guess? Even if it is wrong also never mind. Okay, let me tell. So here, whatever the data, as I told, if I'm entering any text, if I'm entering any numbers or I'm entering any special characters, Excel is going to think that it is a raw data, whatever the user is typing in, I have to display. But when I tell something with equals, starting with equals means Excel will prepare itself to give an output. So there Excel is going to consider that the user is going to type, give in some calculation or write a function or a formula for which I need to give an output. So if I tell NICT and press enter, now here it is showing as an error. So hashtag name question mark, it is an error. Why it is showing as an error? Why? Because equals means, as I told, Excel will prepare itself to give an output. So NICT, it is not any calculation. Is it a function? No. Is it a formula? No. So Excel couldn't analyze what it has to do with this. So there is NICT, that is alphabet. So that's why it is telling as text error. So whenever there is an alphabet or something, Excel is going to tell it is a text error where I couldn't understand what you wanted me to perform with. So if I tell simple calculation 2 plus 2 I will tell. So the same thing is reflected in your formula bar when I press enter and go back. Here you can see the output will be displayed in the work area and whatever the question you have raised. So it's a simple calculation. So whatever the question you
Ma'am,
raise, if yes ma'am.
ma'am, their ASD is also an alphabet, no, ma'am.
Yeah, ASD is also an alphabet only. So it is a raw data. I have not started anything with equals. So this is a
Okay.
text, this is a number, this is a
Mm.
special character. Anything that starts with equal, anything that starts with equal, then Excel is
No.
going to give me the answer. So
Okay,
no.
okay.
So here it is giving me the output, what is the answer is and what is the question that I wrote. So I wrote a simple calculation over here, 2 plus 2. So that 2 plus 2, either it is a calculation or a function or a formula, it will be displayed in your formula bar. So now you must have understood what is this formula bar is. So whatever the question that is being written, either it is a calculation, function or a formula, it will be displayed in the formula bar and your output will be displayed in the work area. Okay. So this is why it is called as electronic spreadsheet. So when you are entering the data, it is going to take it and show as it is. When you are entering anything with equals, so Excel is going to perform a task. In all other MS Office applications, it is not that it is going to give me an output. Whatever it is, the user has to perform. But in Excel, it is not like that. You are going to communicate with Excel where it is going to give you an output. I ask a question, it is going to give me an answer. Okay. Then we have the vertical scroll, which will move from top to bottom, and then we have the horizontal scroll, which will move from left to right, and then we have the sheet layout. From 2016 version onwards, they have made available of one sheet. Previously, before 2016, there were three sheets: sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. But now, is it only one sheet I can work with? No. By clicking on this plus, I can add the sheets. So how many number of sheets I can add in workbook in Excel file means I can add maximum of 255 sheets. That is based on your system storage. If you are like normal storage, whatever is available, in that I can insert 255 sheets. If my storage capacity is more, then I can exceed more than 255. Okay. So wherever I open, you can see the active cell will be in A1. So this is your sheet layout, and then this is below this sheet layout you have the status bar. When I take my cursor there and right click on it, so this is your status bar. So in MS Excel there are certain things Excel will not wait for the user to define. It has to perform certain things on its own. So it will keep certain things activated, and certain things it will give me the option whether to keep it on or off. Okay, this is your status bar, and then we have the different types of view. The same view tools are available in the view tab also, and then we have the zoom bar. So zoom bar, it is going to increase only your work area. No other part of your Excel interface, Excel screen is going to increase. Only your work area you can increase and decrease the size. Okay, so this is about your Excel interface, the screen interface. Just have a look. If you are having any doubts, please you can ask. So type in 1 if you are not having any doubts. Okay, very good. So no doubts. So here in Excel, the files are called as workbook. So just now you saw that the work area of the Excel worksheet or the number of sheets that we can add based on those things. So Excel files are called as workbook. Okay. So in Excel you can create any number of workbooks. There is no limitations, and in each workbook you can have maximum number. As I told, based on the storage capacity, you can add up to 255 sheets. And by default in the new workbook from 2016 version onwards, only one sheet is made available. Before 2016 there were three sheets, sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. So here in the grid interface, so the rows are identified by numbers and columns are identified by alphabets. The number of rows what we have is 10,48,576 rows, and columns 16,384 columns are there. So if you look at the extensions in Excel, so extensions means it is going to tell me what is the file type is. If I am telling mcc.docx, mcc.pptx, mcc.xlsx, so the file name remains same. So how would I identify what type of file it is? By the extension, I can identify whether it is a document, whether it is a presentation, whether it is an Excel file. So extensions are going to tell you what type of file it is. So when I'm coming to Excel, there are different types of extensions, but there are few main things which we have to keep in mind. So Excel workbook, a normal workbook where the extension is .xlsx from 2007 onwards. Previously, before 2007 version, it was .xls. What is this difference between XLS and XLSX? So before 2007, so if imagine that I have created a file in 2003 version, okay, that file will be supported only in 2003 version. In my office, I have 2003 version. I have at home, I have 93 version. So whatever the file I have created in 2003 version, it will be supported only in 2003. It will not support any other versions when it was before 2007. From 2007 onwards, the extension is being added with X. What is this X means? It is to show the expandable. So the file is expandable. Expandable means what? So just now I told that before 2007, whatever the file I have created in a particular version, it will be supported in that version only. No other version I can access the file. So from 2007 onwards, what they have done is, so if I have created the file in the latest version, like 2021 version, the file can be accessed even in 93 version also. Maybe whatever the tools, that upgraded tools that are available in the latest version, that will not work. But still, I can access the file, I can open a file, I can edit the file, I can format the file, I can delete the file also. So from 2007 onwards, whatever the file you are creating, it will be supported in all the different types of versions. Okay, only the thing is, in the older versions, whatever the upgraded tools are there, that you cannot access, because that time it was not available, so you cannot access those. Apart from it, whatever the tools that are available in that particular version, you can work with it. Okay, so any file, a normal Excel workbook, the extension will be .xls. Next, so if I am enabling macro, so as I told, I wanted to perform a particular task, so I need to write a program. So programs are case sensitive. So like comma, double inverted or caps lock, anything, it is case sensitive. So whenever I am enabling any macros, so that particular file has to be saved as .xlsm, where m stands for macro. Now you might question that what will happen if I save my file as a normal Excel workbook, ma'am? Will it will not get saved? Yes, definitely it will get saved. But what Excel will do is, it will disable the macro, whatever you have enabled here. It will disable the macro and will save as a normal one. That means once you close the file and next time when you open, whatever the macro you have enabled, it will not work. Okay, so that is XLSM. If I am working with VBA, backend I am developing a program using a VBA. So again, my file has to be saved as .xlsb, where B stands for binary. Again, if I wanted to save that particular file as a normal workbook, I can definitely save. But whatever the VBA programs you have written, everything Excel will disable if you save it as a normal workbook. So whenever you are creating any VBA or anything, it has to be saved as XLSB in order to retain the activations whatever you have done. If I have created a template, so as I told, I wanted my invoice to be kept as a template where further I can use it. So that time my template file, it has to be stored as .xltx, where T stands for template. So if I save it as a normal workbook, your invoice will be saved under a normal workbook, where you cannot work it as a template file. Okay, so these are some of the extensions that are there, and in Excel it plays very important role, why it is required and how you have to save your file type as. So Excel workbook, this consists of multiple worksheets. Worksheet, it is a work area consisting of rows and columns which are in tabulation. Columns are identified by alphabets and rows are identified by numbers. Cell, it is the smallest component on a worksheet. So you saw one small single cell, the box, it is called as cell. Okay, how am I going to identify a cell? I am going to identify a cell by the intersection of your column and your row. Where your column and row meet each other, that point is called as cell. Okay, it can be called as cell name or cell address also. And range, what is range? Means multiple cells put together. So what is range? Selection. So selection, it can be on the rows, it can be on the columns, or it can be on a range of cells. So in all the MS Office applications, selection plays very important role. Whatever you select, you can implement certain tools of the tools only on that selected part. And in Excel, the selection is called as range. Okay. So these are the stream components what we went across just now. Okay, so I hope Excel a little bit you must have understood what is Excel is, why it is called as spreadsheet. Okay, so another 10 minutes is there, 5 minutes I'll just explain about the cursor and then we will wind up. there are different types of cursors that are available in Excel. Okay, so we can see this different types of cursors only in Excel if you people have noticed. So this is a standard mouse pointer. So you can see when my cursor is in the top row, when I am near the menu bar or near the tools, so I can see the standard mouse pointer. As I scroll down, as I come down, now the cursor is completely changed. So when I come to the work area, you can see a white color cross. So this is called as selection mouse pointer. Selection when I have to select the rows, columns or a range of cells. Okay. So this is used to select. So this is called as selection mouse pointer. Then we have the I-beam cursor. What is this I-beam cursor means? So as I press space bar or I am just going to press F2, you can see this I-beam cursor. So what is this I-beam cursor is means wherever your I-beam cursor is, there only you can enter the data. Nowhere else you can enter the data. I-beam cursor, it will let you to enter the data. It can be alphabet, it can be numbers, it can be special characters, anything. I-beam cursor. So this is your I-beam cursor. Okay. Then we have the select mouse pointer. Now when I take my cursor on the column address, you can see a pointer which is pointing downwards. So that is the select mouse pointer. When I click on this, my entire n column, that is 10,48,576 rows, whatever it is there, my entire n column is selected. The same way I have it for my rows also. When I take my cursor on my row address, you can see a pointer is pointing towards my left hand side. When I click on this, my entire 32 row, it is getting selected. That is 16,384 columns, whatever it is there, it will select. And then we have the resize cursor. When I take my cursor between the column address, between two column address, you can see this resize cursor. Resize cursor, it is used to resize your cell. Okay, so the same way resize cursor is available on the row address also. So I can resize my row size like this. Okay, so you can see this. Now then I have move mouse pointer. So when I take my cursor here, you can see the select mouse pointer. When I come to the borders, when I take my cursor to the borders, you can see combination keys. So that is, one is four-sided arrow, it is navigation, and one more is standard mouse pointer. Both together it is called as move mouse pointer. Whenever I wanted to move the content, I'll just click. Without releasing my click, I am moving and dropping wherever I want. So I'll click. Without releasing my click, I will move and drop it wherever I want. So this is move mouse pointer. See this one also, it is I can move my object. Then I have my fill handle. So what is this fill handle means? So when I click on this, so you can see on my right hand side corner, I have a dot, isn't it? So this dot is called as fill handle. When I enter some data and I wanted to, one second. So when I wanted to fill the thing, so I will take my cursor here to the rightmost corner. You can see a black color cross will appear. So this is called as fill handle. Okay. So I'll just click. Without releasing my click, I'm going to drag it down. So till wherever I drag and release my click, so my data is going to get updated. The same way, I'm going to take my cursor to the rightmost corner, click. Without releasing the click, I'm going to drag. So come here and I'm going to drag it upward and towards my left hand side. So fill handle works on all the four directions. So you need not have to keep on typing again and again. So if you just work on this fill handle, this black color cross, so that is more than enough. See, this is the black color cross, what you see on the right hand side corner. The dot, what you see, if I place my cursor there, you can see the fill handle. So no other places I can see this fill handle. Only in the right hand side corner, I can see this fill handle. Okay. So these are the different types of cursors that are available. So type in 1 if you people have understood with the cursors. Any doubts in that? Okay, very good. So now I will wind up the session. So today we saw the introduction to financial modeling. We saw what is Excel is. We went through Excel introduction also. We saw what is the screen interface on Excel, what are the types of cursors, everything. I hope these things and all you people have understood. The recording will be shared on the group so that you can view the recordings. If you are having any doubts, tomorrow when we are starting the class, we will just clarify your doubts and then we will continue. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting with the practicals. So whatever the practical thing, what I'm going to teach, I'll be sharing it in the group. You can download that file and work along with me. So clear, any doubts in today's class?
No,
Okay, so shall we wind up the session?